What is up, guys? Skyler here. Drop a sub if you're new here and drop a comment what you guys want to see next. One thing before I start, I did get my emotes done. Look at them. We got an emote, a Charmander, Squirtle. The Squirtle one's my favorite. But yeah, we finally got them done. I just like to, I know I told you guys I'd get them done, but I just want to show you guys. But yeah, let's get into it. I don't want to do long intros. We've been doing long intros recently. Nah. He looks just like him.
My name is Skrillex, man. Welcome to the devil's den. I'm a scary monster up in this Sprite and frilly pants. You're a weirdo, Wolfie.
The song references. That's true.
Little magic
flute play, and I do like the whole what do you say right here? The whole in the powder wigs and poop, because in that era, having the powder wigs was a sign of wealth. And poop, I don't know if Mozart really had that type of fetish type thing, but I know he was like, he's famous for liking that kind of humor and joke side. He even made a song called "Lick My Ass," which is weird in itself. But hey, whatever you're into, you know. And you're a weirdo, Wolfie, because Mozart's name was Wolfgang. What an interesting name, real name. His real name was Wolfgang. But yeah, and then he had some references to his name, or some references to the songs. But your cousin blew notes on your little magic flute. Like, incest is such a common occurrence within these old people that the bar just doesn't hit as hard for me. I don't know about you guys, someone who's heard the, big ERB fans, if you guys heard it a ton of times, does it hit the same still? Like, for me, it's like, I mean, in that era, it was pretty common. Like, I'm getting kind of used to them saying it at me a ton of times. I did like how he put it in. Amadeus. That's another play on to Mozart's name. His turn. Hold up. Look at that turn.
What's that?
I like that little transition. But he kissed my ass. That goes along with the "Lick My Ass" song that Mozart made. And then what else did he say? Oh, I'm rich and acclaimed and famous. You died baroque. Baroque, BROQUE, not BROKE. That's the classic. Baroque is the classical era in which there was a lot of music and kind of like Mozart's classical era. So that's what he's referencing there. Baroque, but baroque and worthless because no money. I like that. And Mozart went into a ton of debt. So it makes sense. What else did he say? Oh yeah, your daddy issues make the Jackson 5 look like a family circus. So it's kind of, Jackson was kind of forced into being an artist quite a lot, and so was Mozart. But Mozart, what would happen is if he didn't play the music his dad told him to, didn't play as much, he would get beaten and he wouldn't be fed. And a lot of crazy shit, big child abuse shit. But yeah, so he's like, you put that on, you're the Jackson 5, but times 10. That's pretty nuts.
5 is like the family circus. You might have been a genius, but you died baroque and worthless. I'm rich, acclaimed, and famous.
I really like their backgrounds. It really shows the contrast with these two people in such different fields of music. It really shows the difference.
Famous, I'm a playlist, I'm the A-list. You're the lamest, kiss my ass. I'm a dance. Was that the verse, or did you just get the hiccups? I'm a prodigy, Sonny, and I'm about to smack a bitch up. My music is 200 years old, and it's still excellent. In 2 more months, the world will forget about your Skrillex. I can't believe the way you dress when you dump step out of the house. You're like an emo Steve Urkel, you reek of dead mouth.
Reek of dead mouth. I don't know if that's a reference to Dead Mouth 5, because I do know Skrillex is signed under Dead Mouth's label. So Eureka Dead Mouse, your music is so similar. You reek of that. I like that. I hope that's a play onto that. That's actually really tough. That's probably one of the best bars so far. That is, he's dismantling his work. And that's, these guys are both big musicians that made it off their music and their work. So if you can dismantle that rather than just saying, magic flute and shit like that, even though it's hard, dismantling their work is the way to go. but emo Steve Urkel, I don't really, that reference is all right. I guess because the glasses, but even then, Uh, I can't believe you dressed the way you dubstep out of the house. I like the play on, and then Skrillex to it, which is true. How old is this? This is 7 years ago. But man, I know who Mozart is. I don't really know too much about Skrillex. I wasn't big in the dubstep. Not really my type of music. I call it the banging of the pots and pans. I wasn't really into the banging of the pots and pans as a music, but the Skrillex, that was a good play on, and I guess it is true. You know, every Mozart still play to this day, and it is, hundreds of years old. While I don't know anyone who listens to Skrillex nowadays, but then again, I don't. Maybe I'm just missing. Maybe I just don't talk to those type of people. But yeah. So what do you say? Oh yeah, and I'm a prodigy son. I'm about to smack a bitch up. So I don't know if that's kind of a self diss in my opinion, because he's a prodigy due to his dad forcing him to be. Like, Mozart was known to be a prodigy. Well, of course you are, when you literally, that's the only thing you could do with your life, or you were starved.
You just get the hiccups. I'm a prodigy, sonny, and I'm about to smack a bitch up. My music is 200 years old and it's still excellent. In 2 more months, the world will forget about your Skrillex. I can't believe the way you dress when you step out of the house. You're like an emo Steve Urkel. You reek of dead mouse.
That was hard.
Greatest composer. No one knows what you are except a lonely little troll who knows how to press a space button.
That was hard. That was hard. Little troll only knows how to see the difference between like someone like a producer, or not producer, but like Skrillex, that there's software that literally, to make a beat, all you'd have to do is press a space bar, while I think Mozart's trying to belittle him by saying, I play an actual instrument. So I like that. That was hard. That was a really good bar. Okay. Okay. My strobes glow like Chernobyl. That is hard. The Ukraine nuclear plant meltdown. That was hard there. So that was hard. I really like that reference there, and I mix you with the bass and drop you. So when you drop the bass, that's when everything goes on full blast. That's when the beat drops, and that's when the real music comes, or that's when you take the music times 10. So I'm expecting this verse to get better because he just dropped the bass. And then you're a slave to your papa. We already went over that. I'm a self-made man. What do you say? Oh, side chain Wolfgang. I think Mozart's was part of like a, not Mozart, sorry. Like I said, Mozart's gang is Wolfgang, but name is Wolfgang, but Skrillex was part of like a clique, and that's what they called themselves. So that makes sense. But that was hard. I really like that. The flow was real nice. Like, this wasn't so much of a diss that I can detect. But he says, I attack, you decay, because his music's getting older. But like, the flow was real nice.
You decay, can't sustain my releases. Sidechain Wolfgang, bangarang you to pieces.
Bangarang.
Self-made man, you're a slave to your papa. I'm a rock star, mix it with the bass and drop ya. Global, my strobes glow like Chernobyl.
That flow right there, global, my strobes glow on you like Chernobyl. That was hard. That was just very good word. Oh, glow like Chernobyl. That was just very well written.
Global, my strobes glow like Chernobyl. Kids explode and get mobile. No one even knows you. I make the whole world move. You play community theater. I gained your same fate from home on a blown out speaker. Oh yes, I've heard.
Okay, so Skrillex was said how he came up was making music, but he had a blown out speaker. That's how baroque he was. So he says, I've got the same popularity as you with a broken instrument necessarily. You could even really hear his music at peak. But I like how he said right here, I make the whole world move while you play a community theater. It's very interesting because, music was not, as shareable as it is nowadays, where, I can release a song on like something like YouTube or SoundCloud and millions of people can hear it easily. You had to go to a community theater or a certain place in order to hear music back in Mozart's days. So I don't know how that bar hits necessarily, but I do get the point.
World move, you play community theater. I gained your same fate from home on a blown out speaker. kind of drugs does it take to enjoy this? I've no idea. I've seen more complexity in a couch from IKEA.
his like he's swinging, but Mozart just, I don't know, I feel like he's not really hitting it as hard. Like he's not having the hit punches. Like he's not saying anything realistically about like that really hurts him. Like what's it take to enjoy this stuff, or what kind of drugs does it take to enjoy this stuff? Because Skrillex and a lot of the music that he makes and the people within that field it's kind of like rave culture. And when you go to a rave or like those big places, a lot of those people may be on the drugs or something. So I like that. I think, but I've seen more complexity in a couch from IKEA, or a chair from IKEA or something like that. When it comes to producing music, man, I have a couple friends that are producers, and oof, man, that stuff takes a lot. It's a lot more complex than it looks out to be. So I don't know, but I've transcribed that here. What comes after the 50 measure of diarrhea? What do you say? The 68th measure of diarrhea. Is 68th have any reference or something important? Because I don't get that at all.
World movie, play community theater. I gained your same fame from home on a blown out speaker. Oh yes, I've heard that EP, and see I transcribed it here. Tell me, what comes after the 68th measure of diarrhea? And what kind of drugs does it take to enjoy this? I've no idea. I've seen more complexity in a couch from IKEA. Piano to fortissimo. That means soft to very, very loud. Cause I'm guessing that you didn't know. Why don't you put down your shoelace and pick up a real ball? I rocked harder than you when I was 5 years old.
That was hard. That was hard. Drop your Cubase, which is like a software, and pick up a real bow. And when he says Cubase, look what he brings out. A bass instrument, and pick up a real bow. I like that. That was goofy as hell. And then I didn't know for torissimo, or the word soft to really loud, is that like the dynamics of music or something? Soft to really loud has to be the dynamics within it. So I don't really get that reference at all. But I definitely think Skrillex won. His bars are a lot more direct. Talk about his music and his also him as a person. I feel like that hits the mark. I hit a mark a whole lot better than Mozart's, which really only talked about his music and didn't even really. Mozart wouldn't be a fan of dubstep, but you can see that. Like he didn't really have scathing diss or really strong diss besides the Rika Dead Mouth type thing. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Who do you guys think won? But yeah, drop a sub if you're new here. Oh yeah, outro.
Get dropped like a pair of Yeezys with a 9 for the most cash. Happiness is money on my mind, fucking Prozac. Funny how the haters I reside where they hoes at. All my dick, they be climbing in my balls, man. All that effort in the girl that even call back. On that first, it ain't surprised, never don't last. Smoke that double, never passing, they can hold that. I'm in the future, they consumed by their whole